Hi guys, welcome back up to the off-grid cabin. The spring melt is well on its way up here. A lot of the snow is starting to disappear. So in the last couple of videos you saw me taking down some dead trees all in here. I was cutting down some dead trees and then hauling them down to the bottom of my property and stacking them to be milled. So there was really two reasons why I was in a rush to get the logs hauled down. One, it was I wanted to get as much work on using the skidoo as possible. It's a lot easier dragging the logs down when there's snow and I can pull them with the skidoo. But then also I've been talking about ordering a portable sawmill for a while now. If you watched my videos from a year ago, I was saying that I was looking at getting one. So I finally went ahead and ordered Woodland Mills Sawmill. So that was the other reason for the mad rush to get logs down and stacked, just so I have some logs to start milling once the sawmill is all set up and ready to go. So today I want to get a platform made to assemble the mill on. It's going to be temporary. I'm eventually going to be milling up some wood and building a sawmill shed to put the sawmill under, just to keep it out of the weather. But for now, I'm going to just make a small little platform on the ground that I can put the mill on, and at least then I can start cutting some lumber. So I went ahead and chainsaw milled up some cross members here. They're 4.5 inches thick. They're gonna be the cross members that my sawmill platform goes on. So I have these that are gonna go down first, and then I've chainsaw milled up some 2-inch thick boards that I'm gonna put on top. So there's 8 of those in total. When I ordered the mill, I ordered the track extension with it. So it's 20 foot long in total. I can cut 16 foot 10-inch logs. So I'm gonna have to build just a platform that's 20 feet long, and then I can assemble the track on it. So that's what I'm gonna do today. All right, here we are. So right up above the cabin here, where I stack the logs, and I'm going to just build a temporary platform right along here to put the mill on, and then in the future, hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have enough lumber cut that I'll be able to build. I'm going to put a sawmill shelter right in here. So that's where the sawmill will go, undercover. It's going to have basically like a lean-to shelter with a floor. I miscounted. I just looked at the drawing for the track section, and I only need 7 of these, not 8. So I only need 1 more after I get this one in. Then I gotta go get the rough cut boards that I'm gonna use as the floorboards. I've cut them 2 inches thick. So I gotta go get those, and then I'm gonna run them down. I've got 4 of them. And they're about 10 inches wide, so I'm just going to do on either edge where the leveling feet of the sawmill are going to sit, and that way it leaves the middle open so the log dogs can slide down far enough to get out of the way. So this is it so far. I've got all the cross members in place and leveled off. Now I just got to go up to where I chainsaw milled those 2-inch thick boards and bring them down, and then it'll be ready for me to come in with the sawmill track and start assembling the sawmill once it's all up here. So the first step I wanted to do was get this in place so it was ready to get the track on it. Alright, so I got my floorboards here. So there it is. I put each one of these pieces where a set of the leveling legs are going to go, so that's where the weight's going to be transferred directly down. So all of the leveling legs are going to be over these cross members. It's level right now, and we'll see how long it stays that way. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it and adjust the leveling legs if I need to on the sawmill. So that does it for the sawmill base. It's ready to have the track assembled on it now. One of the reasons that I made it so low to the ground, like I could have raised it up, or I could have put it on 8-inch logs or 12-inch logs, but I wanted it low to the ground so it made it a little easier to roll all these logs onto the track. Since there's a bit of a slope to this, I'm just going to put a board across to the track and I'll be able to roll the logs directly onto it with, shouldn't be too difficult even on the bigger logs. So I'm going to be doing all of this by hand, probably going to be hauling more logs over here with the ATV, and then I'll be loading them onto the mill by hand. So I wanted something that was going to be easy enough to roll the logs on. I didn't have to lift them up and on. So that's why I'm only having it with the 4.5 inches and the 1 7/8 boards. It's a little over 6 inches off the ground. It's going to make it a little more difficult. I'm going to raise the throttle handle on the mill, so I shouldn't have to be bent over while operating it, but taking the wood off the mill, I'm going to have to be bent over. The mill I got is the Woodland Mills HM126, so it can mill up to 26-inch logs. So I'm excited to get that up and going. I'm going to be milling all the wood to finish framing the new cabin. So that's what all this is for. This is all for 2x6s, 2x4s, and some 2x8s. So this should get the rest of the walls framed and the ridge beam framed, and then I'll just have to cut some roof rafters. So when I looked at the price of wood to finish the cabin, it was worth it just to buy a sawmill, cut it myself, and then I can use it for all the other projects that I want to build around. So if you have the trees, it's definitely worth it to just pay the money and get a mill. Right now I think they're 4-month waiting list because everyone's wanting to buy mills now that the price of lumber is so high. So if you want a mill, you better get on it. But yeah, that does it for this video. The next video should be me assembling the track, and then after that it's just getting the saw head assembled and put onto the track. So hopefully I'll be cutting by the end of April. I'm a little early, there's still lots of snow around, so it's hard even getting down to this spot, but the snow should go fast once it stops freezing overnight. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.